Renee and Giovanni, very experienced clinical students finishing their semester here in the Civil Advocacy Clinic, who did a wonderful job on their cases this semester, including the case that Renee's talking about. So let's just reflect a little. Which supervision meeting felt more like what you've encountered over the semester here in the clinic?
Yours.
And how did you feel that Professor Woods and my strategies and styles differed?
I think we came to many of the same results during both, but with the first one we were able to interact and actually take a larger part in the discussion and learn by using a learning process.
So which one do you think is more like what you will encounter in practice, however?
Probably Erica's. I felt like the decisions were already made about what actions to take, and I was just kind of like, you know, taking the notes, doing the steps that she wanted to have done, and I was going to do that. So I feel like, you know, a lot of times probably their minds are made up and they're used to doing things a certain way, and you just follow that procedure.
And do you think you could learn from someone who's giving you samples and direction and how to do things?
Of course.
Why do you think in the clinic we don't run it the way Professor Woods did today? And she does not do her supervision sessions in that manner. Because like you said, you could learn from that. You know, Eric and I were both trained that way when we started as young attorneys. Why do you think we don't do it that way?
Well, I didn't feel like I could think for myself was the main thing. And I like how in the clinic we're, you know, pushed to kind of come up with our own resolutions. And I also like hearing other people's ideas during our meetings. Just it gives you different perspectives and just, you know, ways of going about things that you may not have thought of. And having an individual give you direction is great and you definitely learn, but there might also be another way of doing things that could be just as or more effective that won't come out.
Think about back to the early weeks of the semester when you first started, and you know, like most students, you know, just ask me a lot, what should I do? How should I do it? Which is totally normal. That's why you're here to get experience. And a lot of times I wouldn't tell you, right? We worked it out as a team, and if you had asked the fake, you know, Professor Woods, she would have just told you. So early in the semester, how did you feel before you sort of got used to how we did things? That I just wouldn't tell you what to do or how to do it.
I think it pushed us to become the decision makers and for the supervisor to be the reviewer. So it made us make the decisions and made us also feel comfortable making the decisions. Because I think when you first start clinic, you might feel very, very uncomfortable in making an actual attorney or legal decision, but you have to. So it's kind of throwing you into that and making you comfortable in doing that.
Any questions you want to throw out there?
Yeah, so I was very directive with you. So how did that feel? Did you like that? Did you not like that? Did you feel comfortable, uncomfortable?
I mean, I felt comfortable. That was fine because I feel like in my other experiences, like as a law clerk or an intern, I've been used to receiving, you know, my information in that way because I felt like in those positions, it was someone else's work that I was working on. So I guess in that context, it was fine. But in this context, it's a little different because they're, you know, my cases and, you know, I have a little bit more responsibility. So it's hard. It's good because I know you know what you're doing because you're obviously an experienced attorney. But at the same time, you know, because we've been given a lot of freedom to make our own decisions, it was hard being, you know, this is what you have to do.
So at the beginning of the semester, do you think you would have rathered my style or Professor Gilman's style?
Your style, right?
And now with some reflection at the end of the semester, you see the method behind the madness, right?
Yeah.
Any other thoughts just before we turn off the camera?
No.
Okay, well, thank you both. Thanks to the team. Let's pray that this worked. Okay.